Alright, remember when I said that I was going to start doing Final Fantasy content? Oh, I actually meant that. So, I actually got two different jobs to 100, which was Warrior. It's actually really easy. Um, Level 100 Warrior very much is actually pretty fun. Uh, Doing the second job, though, wasn't as fun. Now, I didn't finish Dawn Trail, so I can't really give my full takes on the game. That'll probably, well, on Dawn Trail it's, initially, because I think I'm only on 97 quests. I would have to do all of the quests, and I wanted to do a video, well, record a video before, truthfully, before I left. And I was supposed to leave already to like go get groceries, but I decided to finish off this job that you see in front of you. This glam. This job is my scholar. My scholar glam is actually pretty dope. I think it's only level 97 stuff because I only had access. I got the 97 dungeon, and I decided to do it before I, you know, so it was an easy EXP grind. I think I did it. I got to like 98, 99 really quickly from running it, and then got my what do you call it? And then like my last run, which was like I knew I had to do two runs. I had like maybe like 40,000 left, and I just walked. I literally just walked into the uncharted land, and I was able to get. Also, hopefully my audio is good. I haven't really changed it. Also, I still have a fan on, so hopefully the audio is good. We'll see. I just don't care at this point. I'll try my best to make audio as good as possible, but I literally walked, got my ding, and was able to get to 100. What I was hiding was basically the screen, which, as you can see, I have a full bar. I have a full bar full of stuff, which is kind of too much at this point. As you can tell, the only thing that would have been taken out would be probably Lucid Dreaming. Lucid Dreaming is really good. I would also probably just take out Rune 2 because Rune 2 is kind of trash, but it is a quick action, meaning it's immediately, you use it immediately, running out of my meal. But like, it's not the worst. Again, like nothing else I'd really take out. Maybe emergency. No, emergency actually very much goes in hand with all your shields, so it kind of has to stay. Jackson is not bad as a skill. Get it at 86. So it's, again, it's one of those skills. I don't really use it that much. I should use it more because it's basically one of the better Endwalker skills. And the reason why I don't use it a lot is because of the fact that I don't know. It's just weird. It's like it doesn't really give you anything besides more healing potency. Like it gives you, again, it increases the health of the person you put it on, so you do get that. But truthfully, the biggest aspect for it is, you know, you kind of just you increase how much healing they get. And I've been trying to play. Well, I've been playing this scholar and Dawn Trail, and I really don't like how the healing works. It wasn't really until probably my last few runs where I kind of got what the point of it all was. And the fact is, there really isn't a reason to heal a tank. Now, again, I've been playing with the NPCs, so I really couldn't get this point any clearer until until I was playing. But like the tanks heal themselves pretty much where you don't really need to do much. They have enough mitigation that they can self sustain and don't really need healing. Truthfully, you're healing everybody else. If anything, you can get a tank a little bit of healing and they'll be fine on their own, especially a warrior, because their last part in their main combo is very much a heal. Um, I don't know if I say main combo, but their main like string of move sets is essentially a heal, and then they also have a bunch of other stuff that heals as well. Um, but like you don't really need to heal a tank to full because a tank can easily heal themselves to fulls with all of their healing actions and stuff like that. I don't really. I don't really know how to, like I said, because of it. It just feels weak. My healing potency feels weak, um, and also it just feels like weird that all of my healing is very much based on like my pets. But then again, it's supposed to be a pet class, so it makes sense. Like it is a pet class, so you should actually have more of a position on healing. Like like I said, I don't know how I feel about it. It's probably because I can't really play Astro because they changed Astro and I haven't really looked at it from the changes. Maybe it's good. Haven't heard anything else good from it from other Astro mains. I've heard from people that play it a bit. They like it because it's somewhat, I don't know, with agency or whatever. Um, Again, I don't really like it. And like I said, the best things you have are very much based on your class. You have, but the thing is, and the reason why I don't really like this job is because of the fact that there's no real good solo heals. Like the only solo heal you have besides your own cure physic, which is very much mid. Besides the fact that it actually will crit after maybe the second, so you can actually probably get a good amount of crits just from spamming it. So you'll get from like maybe 9,000 to like 14, 15,000. It can crit a lot. Um, like the best heal is your lust rate, but lust rate doesn't even heal that much. Lust rate heals pretty piss poor. It's not really that great. You don't really have anything else. You have a lot of damage mitigation. You have this, which is pretty good on a. You are really low because I feel like you're gonna get really low regardless. As you can tell, I switched Rune 3 for Burrow because Burrow does more damage, and I was kind of tired of doing no damage with my Rune 3, so I just switched it out. Biolysis is alright. It doesn't really do a lot. You kind of chain these two together, which is a new ability, which is now on a 120. Well, I think it's always then. But it's like you start it off, and then it's like, cool, I have nothing right now. But you don't really have a good array of healing, like or solo healing, which is a thing. Everything is very much AOE, which is not good when you're mainly trying to focus on getting a tank all the way up to full. Especially when tanks have close to like 100k health. It's like I can't do anything because I can't even. It's rare I can get 20k. Again, if you use the protraction, you'll get close to that 20k on your tank, and you might actually get 20k. Again, crits are a thing. But like I said, everything that is good for you are like feels. This is also an upgrade you get as well. That's pretty good. It's an AOE. It's very costly. It's 1,000. So it's like you should use it sparingly. But truthfully, when I have to get everybody up to par or up to speed, I very much will spam it since it is. It's not a free like all these are free actions. If you don't know how Scholar is, very much most of your actions will be around Aetherflow, or your job is really around Aetherflow. Yes, you have a fairy, but everything that works around, which is this, your Aether pack, is very much dependent on you spending anything here. So, or here, Excognition is also very much a necessary thing as well that I'll mainly just put on a tank because, yeah, like everything you use from here, which Aether pack, you get 3 charges as you see here, and then from the 3 charge you can choose 3 moves. I really much like Sacred Soil. Out of these, I won't really use Lust Rate. Energy Drain I only use if I'm really really low, and Lucid Dreaming is down. So it's really the only time I'll really use it. It doesn't really do that much MP, or give me a good amount of MP done. Does it give me actually MP? Damage potency 100 absorbs the portion of damage dealt. No, it's not even good. Never mind. I thought it was MP. I definitely thought it was MP this whole time, but it's just HP. Okay, I don't. There's no real reason to use it then, because I would mainly only use it for an MP purpose. If, like I said, if Lucid Dream was down, Lust Rate is all right. I'd use it in a pinch, but it really is not the best thing to use in a pinch. Like I said, I mainly just use it for a tank. It's not going to help me a lot. I rather just use, truthfully, Excognition if possible. I'll use my own healing. I'll use Physic over Truthful Lust Rate any day. But the main things I use when it comes to kind of the Aether Flow is very much, um, not really this. Actually, yeah, I will use Indomitability because it's a really good AoE. Um, so I usually will like to use that. and I'll use kind of a cognition. I'll use Sacred Soul as my bread and butter because of regen. So I'll use that basically at the start of a fight, especially as part of start of a boss fight. It has a really good range. I'll use that just to start off everything because of the fact that it's actually really good to regen, and I really don't have to worry about everybody else. Again, like I feel like you're doing a lot with Scholar. Like, if you want to be busy as a healer, Scholar is definitely one of them. Again, I haven't played the other healers yet, so I have no idea how they are going to play when they get to 100. Which I guess is a problem, but not really. Like I said, I'm probably going to drop being a healer in this X pack, especially for raids, because it doesn't feel good. Like, it just doesn't feel, especially for Scholar, it doesn't feel good. I feel like I'm not healing enough. But again, you really, if you're just healing DPS, it's alright. Tanks, at least for me, it's probably just gear based. I don't really have the current gear I need to have, but I definitely feel like I'm not healing a lot or enough, essentially. Now, when it comes to tanks, how does my warrior feel? How is the difference? 654 versus 669. How are you high? Oh wait, I've run the 57. That's why. Okay, never mind. I was like, how are you higher? And I was like, oh yeah, I reached 100 before even unlocking the 97 dungeon. That's why. So you have my, as you can tell, I also have a new hairdo. I changed. I should what was color for that? But I changed my hairdo. So we have a new Oni, new Lalafell in this mix. As you can probably tell, I'll show you all in a second after I do my tank. But as you can tell, a lot less abilities. Again, I use the same amount of bars. I use the same amount of thing, um, but a lot less abilities than my healer, which is pretty nice. They didn't add any abilities. Everything very much changed over abilities. So everything that is new very much kind of just came from went over a skill. You have Damnation, which went over one of your mitigation skills. Um, Rampart also got very much an increase in stuff. Hammer Rends, like nothing was added ability wise, which is very much what needed to happen. Like nothing should have been added because we already have a lot of abilities. I was actually talking about it with my friend the other day. I think also while I was streaming that we need an ability overhaul. Like a lot of jobs have way too many abilities that, in my opinion, are integral to playing, but it's too much. Like again, like so as I was saying, I don't use Shark at all. I don't really care for the move. Truthfully, it can go, which means I'm open for 4. But everything else here, I very much use. I use Onslaught a good amount. Defiance, I put up here instead of like down here, which is like one of the first things you put on up here because like I don't really need it on my bar. I very much use it. Like it can't be over here like I have for Scholar with EOS because of the fact that like EOS will be on me as soon as I am on Scholar. The bad thing about like going into dungeons as a tank is that you'll have your defiance on, you'll have your enmity on, like you'll have your tank stance on, but as soon as you enter the dungeon, which I felt, which I don't know if this is a thing with other people, but my tank stance will be off. So like I'll go into a dungeon with my tank stance on, and then then I'm in the dungeon. I'm in the instance essentially. And my tank stance is off. Like my tank stance is fully off. I have to re-put it on. And the thing is, if I'm watching a cutscene, like if it's a new content, I'm definitely watching a cutscene. Or I'm just not paying attention because like there are times I'm starting stuff. I'm like, cool, I'm going to start a playlist because I've already done this. And I look, I was like, why am I not getting like why am I running in? I was like, oh, my tank sense isn't on. And nobody really tells you because they'll wait. Like they're used to it. Like if you have the tank sense off the whole time running to a boss, that's on you. Like I mean, like you're actually at the first boss and you have it on, then that's on you. You're not really paying attention to your thing, and also you're always paying, as a tank. You're always looking at the map because you need to know exactly where you're going. You'll know when something's not lined up for a warrior. You can tell because it has these horns, so you can literally see it between there. Paladin has like it's literally the bar, but it's like you fill it in with a white light. Every tank has their different tank stances. So like you should be able to see that. Oh, cool! I don't have tank stance on. I should probably turn it on. Also, it's a different animation too, so you should usually always know. I had fun being a tank. It very much. I also had my first moment of feeling like an OP tank. Okay, what is happening? Hello, there you go. I wasn't moving, so I was very confused. Which I was regretting not recording, but I'm also happy I didn't record since it was very much kind of like it was very much end game content. But I essentially had to face a boss by myself. Um, and the thing is, like the same friend also asked me why didn't I just die because I felt like it was like it would have been easier to die, and then you didn't have to wait. Like it would have been quicker as well. And also, like people are not learning the boss because you're doing that, which is very true. It's a very true statement. In hindsight, that was the probably what I should have done, which is just die and then everybody learns to fight. But I wasn't really thinking that way for the first part. One, I've done it before, and two, I wanted to see what my limits are. That's the thing. Like coming from a healer to a tank is completely different because you don't really have as much responsibilities, right? Your responsibility is just to stay alive. That's it. Your responsibility is to make sure you have aggro on every single thing in the dungeon, and that's really it. Truthfully speaking, um, your responsibility never really was to stay alive. Your responsibility was very much tank everything in the dungeon. Make sure you have aggro. If you're getting low and you can tell the healer is having trouble, use mitigations. That was your main job. And now in the dungeon is very much I'm just going to be a himbo and kind of run through everything. And also I don't really need a healer. I can tank everything. So I wanted to see exactly how far. Again, like for that boss, we went from I think like 85% our healer and the other DPS died, so it was just myself and another DPS. And I think the DPS was also like a warrior main, so they knew the fight beforehand. And they were just leveling up their DPS. So I very much was like, whatever. It's like two of us, we should be all right. They die around like maybe 75% health for the boss. I was like, fuck, I'm on myself now. And the thing is, I've done this dungeon before, but the last thing I do when I'm running dungeons with NPCs is fully remember or know mechanics for a boss fight. But like, because of the fact I wanted to test my limit and I wanted to see exactly if I could do it because I've seen other tanks do it in Endwalker. My thought process was I should probably be able to do this in Dantro because I have more mitigation. Also, I'm more what do you call it? I have more armor. I have like my gear is better essentially, which my gear is very much still shite, but my gear is better to a point, right? And I wanted to see if I could do it, and I did. I actually did it pretty easily. I was never really down 25% health at all. At most, I was down 50% health, and then I made sure to go back up. I always had other mitigations up, um, so I was never really scared of dying. And I also was able to learn the fight because of the fact that like I had to make sure I lived. Because like I said, I wanted to limit test, but I also wanted to win the fight. I wanted to see how like if I could do this, if I could actually call myself a tank. Because again, I did not tank until basically this X pack. Because which again I did tank and um and Walker, but that was at the end. Content was already done. We were like maybe a few months away, like probably 2 3 months from like Dawn Patrol coming out. Then I actually decide to tank, and it is actually fun because you don't really need to even have your brain on. You just turn it off and you just press mitigation when you feel like you're low, and you don't really worry about a healer. And that's the biggest problem. Which, like I said, like the one of the tanks, like the DPS that died was also a tank. It was like this is why like healers can't be like they also need to know tanks need to do. And I kind of tuned him out after that point. Like I don't even know what he was saying because like the reason why healers don't like the tanks can do this is because tanks should not be able to solo bosses in a dungeon. Um, like they should not be able to fully solo and kind of like sustain themselves this easily without really running out of health. Like I feel it should be something where it's like okay, it's scary. But again, like if it's something that's like past content, they're highly over level. Um, like it's like a level 80 to like a level 60, then cool, whatever. But when it comes to a boss and new content, and you're able to solo a boss from level 70, like not like from 70% health, and you can kill them all the way down. it's not something that should be possible, and you have the healers very much feeling like they are having to fight for their lives to heal everything. It's not really the best. Again, like I said, if I'm just focusing on like if Granny said's point was just so cool, tanks are gonna be self sufficient, so that way healers the only thing you really have to deal with is very much healing your your DPS, and fine, whatever. If I have to heal a tank, it comes a little bit gray. Like it comes a little bit harder. But if I'm just having like if I have to heal everybody, it's like because of the fact that like again as a scholar you don't have a lot of single target. Everything is very much AOE. You have essentially two. You have am I right? Actually, yeah. You have technically three if you count X cognition, but it's not. It's a heal only if they get past a certain threshold. So it's like you only really have two single target heals. Um, so it's like I can't really. I'm not really a single target healer. It's kind of trash, but whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm having more fun being a tank than I am as a healer, but probably because of the fact that like it is easier. I do know that also like I do know that they said they're doing tank changes, so there will be changes for the enemy or the AOE of AOE spells, like the enemy granted from AOE spells, well AOE moves for tanks, so that we can grab everybody else and they're not really running away after you do it because that is also a problem. Um, because you will have people very much using the AOE spells to grab people, and you have no time to like you try to grab everybody and they go to the other person. Because many times I've run a dungeon and I have like maybe one enemy I didn't grab. I was like, I've literally hit everybody, and it's one enemy I did not grab. I was like, I hate it because you don't really know because you're running through, and that's why like I usually wait, which I guess people probably don't like, but I will wait. Like I'll go to a checkpoint, like I'll grab everybody, I'll move to the checkpoint, I'll make sure everybody's following me now, so that way I can actually grab everybody. I was like, cool, everybody I have, I'll hit them maybe another time, make sure everybody still has aggro, and I'll run again. Um, because I need to make sure everybody's aggro and somebody's getting hit. The only person getting hit is myself. Because as a tank, you should always be making sure you're the only person getting hit. But like I said, it's healer just doesn't like at least scholar doesn't feel good. Like it feels alright going in. I also feel like we shouldn't have as much abilities as scholar. Like, dude, I don't know how it feels to be other people. I feel like there's not really enough to like. Art of Wars are the only AoE we have when it comes to damage. That is so bad. We only have Art of War. We have a stop down move essentially for damage dealing. It doesn't even deal any type of damage. We only have one AoE. This also counts as AoE, but it's like it's AoE dot that doesn't last that long. So it's like we have nothing. We have a bunch of abilities that really don't help. You can also this is the thing, right? You have deployment tactics, which truthfully isn't needed, because it extends it. If anything, I would actually add deployment tactics to emergency tactics, combine the two, because they both have tactics. Because that way, one, you remove two abilities, make it into one, and essentially you have a good ability because this means, well, then they have to probably increase the time. But like you have an ability that one gives you, what do you call it? Gives you regen, and then you have an ability that also extends it to other people. But then again, like if you use this to basically the fusion of this, it makes life easier. This is also really good, but like I said, there's way too many abilities here. I can probably easily get rid of this. I can get rid of this. It's trash. Not getting rid of this, pretty good. Um, so you get rid of two abilities. I truthfully don't ever really need these. It really does help, but I'd rather just use truthfully any. Rather use this fairy moves, which this is one of my main moves. This does AOE. Oh, it gets regen, and it's also AOE. So it's like one of my main moves that I like. Um, but I just feel like you have way too much moves. I also want AOE Asuna. I'm gonna keep saying that till the end of my days. I want AOE Asuna. But yeah, this is my hairstyle. I did say I'll show you. I'm gonna be basically in the video soon in 25 minutes. I don't know how the fuck I've been talking for 25 minutes. But this is my face. I actually take away everything. That's how I look right now. This girl looks nice. This is a hairstyle. I feel like it was a better. But I wanted highlights, so I wanted to do the inverse of my previous hairstyle. It was like purple and white highlights, essentially. I wanted to go with white with purple highlights, but highlights don't really work on white hair for some odd reason. So, which makes no sense, truthfully. It makes sense in the aspect, but it doesn't make sense because yeah, whatever. But like, this is my hairstyle. I didn't really change up much anyway. Like, it's just mainly the hairstyle and the color. This is what my character looks like. So this is the new look. This is my new Lala look. But yeah, like I said, I should be able to beat the game, or beat Dawn Trail by, I want to say, this weekend or early next week, and I'll be probably leveling my Bard. I'll try to get that as close as possible because I do want kind of one of each. Um, well, I might be lazy. We'll see. But that's really gonna be it. I wanted to just really talk about this. Next video is most likely going to be how I feel about Baldur's Gate 3, since I didn't really go in depth with that last time. So that'll probably be my last BG3 video on this channel for a while, unless new stuff comes out. But oh well, no, there'll be one more, and that'll be on an Evil Run and Patch 7. So that'll probably be the last two videos. Essentially, I talk about Baldur's Gate 3, and then try to find other content to talk about. We do have other content to talk about, but I want to finish Dawn Trail since it's very much something that I play. But that's really gonna be it. I kept saying, I'm sorry. That's gonna be it. My name's Onion Miss. I've been my time. I'll see you all again next week. Later days, and love you all. Peace.